Hey guys. So, if you guys play games such as Murdered Soul Suspect or Beyond Two Souls, um, you may both the games have to do with the paranormal. And if you're an OTC gamer, you may think, oh, that's just for the video game. But if you're a LARP operator and you actually got some experience, it says that kind of push for the contrary. This video is for you. So I'm not going to be doing too much. This is just going to be a series of stories that have happened to me or people close to me. So yeah, kind of just put me in the background music, and I'll just be some back noise for you while I recant some of my stories. I have back when I was younger, I used to Paranormal LARP a lot more, and actually have like a file of all the stories I've collected. And I'll just recant some of the fun ones for you. So I hope you enjoy. Ollie's a personal friend of mine back in high school. And Ollie believes that his family is haunted by jinns. Now, jinns are creatures made of smokeless fire. People were made, and then jinns were made. And jinns are kind of supernatural beings to us. So anyways, he believes that a clan of jinn are haunting his family. And it all started back in Pakistan, where his family cut down a tree. Now it is believed that jinns live in trees, and he may unknowingly cut down their home. And the weirdness started in the cutting of the tree of itself. The tree is almost trying to exact revenge on its own demise, fell at an impossible angle towards Ollie when he cut it. Fortunately, no one was harmed. Soon after the cutting of the tree, strange things started to happen around the house. Ollie started hearing voices, footsteps, when no one was there. Lights would unexplainably turn on by themselves. In one incident, a kitchen blender started running on its own. Even more disturbing, the blender kept running even after it was unplugged. Naturally, the family would seek help to rid themselves of these jinns, or at the very least, seek some answers. They sought help from two separate individuals, both of whom told them the same thing. They had angered a clan of jinn living inside the tree. Even more disturbing, this particular jinn clan were evil and would torment Allie's family for many years. Years later, they moved to Michigan. On a trip into Chicago, Ollie visited a soothsayer who told Ollie that the jinn clan had followed him and his family. The soothsayer knew about the tree they had cut down so many years ago and so many miles away. He also knew the family had succeeded in burning, or killing, one of the jinns in their clan. As such, the jinns would continue to haunt the family to this day. Story number 2. Robert's a close friend of mine, and he told me this story. Bob was sleeping. Bob woke up one night with what he called the worst headache of his entire life. He described it as blinding lights, feel like I'm gonna die type of migraine. He asked his father if he could have some Advils for his head. His dad told him to go eat something first, so he went down, ate some crackers, and took the Advil and went back to bed. Only to wake a few hours later with 3 women standing at the foot of his bed. They were all dressed in 18th century clothes, and the center one stepped forward and said to him, "Sorry, it wasn't meant for you." He immediately fell back asleep, but when he woke up, his migraine was gone. This one actually happened with my dad and my uncle. So my dad went to Burma to go check on my uncle, who had taken ill. He had developed a type of leukemia, and it was supposed to be a type that was 100% recoverable, but during the time he was still kind of sick because he was going through the treatment. Anyways, my dad goes to my uncle's house and begins cleaning the house. And when he was cleaning things out, he found a voodoo doll. Now, in Burma, you can pay witches to curse someone on the street. In America, this isn't very common or taken very seriously, but in Burma, it is. They're very superstitious. And what makes this story even more curious, though, is my dad recognized that this was a curse. So he tried to take a picture of the voodoo doll to show the monastery where they have a lot of monks. Only, he's got a good camera. He's an amateur photographer. But when he took the photos kept coming out blurry. He couldn't get a clear image. After several attempts, he finally got an image that wasn't distorted or blurry. He took the picture to the monastery and showed the monks, who confirmed that it was cursed and that he should bring the doll in. Once he did, they lifted the curse and destroyed the doll, after which my uncle's health improved. This is one of my close friends. We'll call him Stick. This actually happened to his mom. Stick's mom was sleeping in bed when she was woken at 3 a.m. to a glowing figure standing at the foot of her bed. The figure told her not to worry and that everything was going to be alright before it disappeared. The next morning, she asked her husband if he had told her in the middle of the night everything would be alright. Her husband denied this and had no knowledge of what she was talking about. She found out later that day that her father had passed away during the night. The time difference between the two states put her visitor and her father's death at 3 a.m. her time. There was once, this is when I was on a LARP in New Mexico. Cimarron, New Mexico to be exact. I was backpacking through some sticks there. There was once a tribe that lived in the canyons of Eureka and Mesa, who for unknown reasons simply vanished. Artifacts of their existence is all that remains in legends. Legends would have it that the Anasazi lived in these canyons centuries ago. They named Eureka after a black bird called the magpie, which to them was a bad omen. If the magpie were to ever call your name, bad fortune was out for you. The mesa, if viewed from the topical map, resembles a skull, with the eye of the skull supposedly being portals to another dimension. Now, legend says that this portal was once open and beings from the underworld came into our world, wreaking havoc. From the legend, I was told a last-ditch battle took place atop of the mesa. In order to stop the flow of the underworld, the Anasazi sacrificed themselves by passing through the portal to temporarily stop the flow from from their world into our world, buying their medicine man, or shamas, enough time to seal the portal. The portal was sealed with 6 totems, with cat carvings to fend off the magpie, who were believed to be able to reopen the portal. It is said that if all the pillars were to fall, then the portals would once again reopen. All but one have fallen, and it is said that the shaman who sealed the portal still guards it to this day. Guards the totem, the last totem. No longer as a man, but as a transformed beast. This is the legend I was told. We camped in the valley, not far off from the mesa, where strange things still happen to this day. The most noteworthy of the ranger story was Joshua and Leah. They had agreed to wake up early for something, and Joshua slept on the porch as Leia slept in the cabin. Leia had a dream where a woman came to her with yellow eyes. She remembered nothing after this, but Joshua reports that she walked stiff as a board out into the porch, sat on the swing and began rocking, breathing unnaturally heavy. When Joshua asked if there's something wrong, she whispered, "Do you believe now?" Then walked inside, stiff as a board. Joshua, we should mention, was a proclaimed skeptic. My story of this place happened at night when we were preparing the bear bags for the night. We were swapping ghost stories and entertaining the idea of the imp, which was the last shaman who guarded the totem. Now, while we were doing this, Jamie, one of the scouts, who was a very level-headed individual, in my opinion, starts suddenly to break out in hysteria, just laughing uncontrollably. I was gonna say this too. He was kind of creeping me out when he was doing this. I'm not gonna lie. Once he regained his composure, though, he says the laughing fit was completely involuntary. And actually, his quotes was, "That wasn't me." Alrighty, so I hope you enjoyed some of those ghost stories. I have more, but some of them don't have like a actual story to go with it. Some of them are just like, oh, like for instance with me, we used to, our piano, we would play it, and it would just like start playing by itself. Like the keys would be depressed by itself, and we're like, oh, that's kind of weird, but it's not really a story. Or like sometimes the light switches would turn on and off by themselves. So it's not really a story, but I try to pick the ones that actually had like a good, build up, climax, and whatever. But yeah, if you're a LARP operator, you might realize that maybe there's some truth behind this paranormal stuff. For all you skeptics out there, you're like, oh, he's making this crap up. You're right, I could be. I'm not. There's nothing I can say or do to convince you that I am or I'm not, so you just believe me or you don't. At the very least, I hope you found it entertaining. So anyways, if you like these videos, please like or subscribe to my channel. Leave your comments below. Maybe if you want to share your own story. And tell me what you think about these videos if you want to see. Like, I jump around from categories depending on what game I'm playing at the time. If you like the category, I can go in more depth and follow through. So yeah, leave me comments if you like them, and let me know what you think. Thanks.